You may have heard the story about a situation that happened to a couple of fishermen about a mile off the Jersey coast when their boat was capsized by a whale. They were out fishing for fluke, saw the whale, thought nothing of it, and all of a sudden they found themselves up in the air, in the water, boat capsized. Well, it could have been a lot worse. They did suffer minor injuries, but they're both going to be okay, thanks in large part to the rescue effort, a guy paying attention, a retired firefighter from Trenton. Joining me now is Captain Gary Sabo. Gary, welcome to Chasing News. How are you?
Thank you. Doing fine.
So I've talked to Jonathan, one of the fishermen involved in it, and he gives you all the credit for being there and pulling them out of the water. What went through your mind? What happened? How did you hear about it? Did you see it? Did you hear the radio call? What happened?
Well, much like they were, I was out there fluke fishing myself. I always monitor channel 16, which is the hailing and distress channel on the marine radio, and I always keep my ear peeled to it. There's a lot of things that go on out there. I heard a message, someone trying to call the Coast Guard. It didn't sound urgent, but then he inserted a Mayday in there. He finally figured out where he was at, and once he said that, I realized that I was only about a half a mile from.
You're a retired firefighter. I'm sure you've seen a lot of things in terms of rescue. You're a fisherman. You've been out there for decades. Have you ever seen a whale attack a boat like this?
In recent years, the whales and porpoises have been more visible because of the large schools of bait fish that are always in the area now. So it's more frequent that we're seeing them. But nobody has ever heard of this, at least not locally.
Well, you really saved these guys. It's good to talk to you, Gary. Thank you. All right, let me introduce you to one of the guys saved from that whale attack. Jonathan Swingle joins me now. Jonathan, good to have you on Chasing News. How are you?
I'm fine, Bill. How are you?
What was going through your mind as you're clinging to the capsized boat, thinking you got a whale in the water, you got fish in the water?
I think the whale probably got something he wasn't expecting and wasn't likely to return, but fish in the water is always a concern. Bluefish have been known to occasionally nibble on people in the wrong place when a school goes through. Sharks on the Jersey Shore in the summer didn't particularly want to stay in the water for real long. You don't know what's going to happen at that point, and we already had one adventure. I didn't need another.
What happened when the whale hit your boat?
He, from below, probably saw a very dense bait ball in the middle of all this looser fish and thought we were going to be like the best treat of the day. When he hit us, there was no advance warning. It was just a very loud thump with an immediate elevation of the boat, particularly on the port side where I was standing. And that, of course, threw the gun was below my center of gravity, so it kicked me off the side of the boat. Bill had a similar event on the low side of the boat, and we both came up for air. We both watched the boat roll the rest of the way upside down, but neither of us ever saw or heard the whale in that moment when it happened.
Are you ready to head back to the water, go fishing again?
Sure. Why not?
All right, Jonathan, great to talk to you. Glad you're okay, and enjoy your weekend.